Most all the plumbing has been connected. I've redone a lot of stuff to make everything fit. I've moved that coolant reservoir for the supercharger again. I think it's going to be okay here. All the plumbing's done. I got many dollars wrapped up in fittings and hose to connect the supercharger to our unit through Firewall unit connectors. But it helped clean up the engine bay a lot. I got a lot of the main harness run. Heater hose comes up to here. The other heater hose goes down there. Fuel supply and the vapor return right there. Fuse box. This is the main harness that goes into the cabin. There's a passenger fire fuse block that goes there. Battery still in progress. My buddy Scott, thank you Scott, let me borrow his battery so I can mock it up, and sure enough where I put it, you know, it's not going to work, so I got to mess around with that. AC lines are run, heater line, all AC lines are all connected up. Got the dryer, goes over to the condenser, more wiring. So it's kind of roughed out, so I got everything run. I think it'll work. I got the coolant tank mounted here. Hoses run. This one goes up to the heater. Goes over to here. Gotta go through there, and then it'll connect up to the AC unit. I've got that loosely just hung, and then I've got some routing for the hoses to final connect. But one of the things that's been bugging me for a while is how to mount this booster, because the bolt pattern on the booster and the brake pedal are close but not close enough, so there's interference. So I drew them out on CAD. This one is the booster and this is the pedal mount. Well, come to find out, the booster is actually clocked 8 degrees about from horizontal, which I didn't realize at first, and I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to make this work. But turns out if I clock this 8 degrees, it actually will grab 2 of the bolts. And now the pedal's square with the master cylinder. So now I just have to make an adapter piece to go for those last 2 bolts. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm thinking if I make like a wheel spacer where I cut these down, bolt that to a spacer, and then bolts from the backside, studs that can stick out, and then can grab these last 2 studs here and here, or these holes here. So, you know, like a 1/2 inch spacer in there or so, and that way there I can make an adapter. So all I got to do is cut. I'm thinking if I cut 2 pieces that are like 3/8 of an inch thick, and then there's spacing for the bolts, and then I can weld it together, and then yeah, then that would work for if weld the 2 pieces together, and then you can have bolts from each backside to grab this mount, and then holes for nuts on that side. So I'll have to doctor this up a little bit, and then I can cut it out and see if it works. Making a new mount for the master cylinder booster, so I'm going to try something a little different, just make it squared off, but how it's set into the firewall will be flared a little bit. So I'm just wrapping a piece of metal around the plate that I cut out on the plasma cutter, tacking it up, and then I'll cut it all down. Just got the mount for the master cylinder brake booster tacked up so I can locate it. It's going to be replaced with a new firewall anyway, so I just want to get all the locations and the angles right and get it mocked up. So it's already loose. I put the pedals on the inside and tried out my new adapter bracket, and everything worked really well. So I'm gonna, again, that's just for mock-up so I can build a new firewall. So I'm pretty happy how it's coming out. I think I finally found a spot for the battery that it's not in the way of anything. You can see the outline of the marker. That's kind of like the cover it's going to come across. So it'll miss that. I checked the tire clearance at full compression. It misses the tire. It's not hitting any hoses. So I think I found a spot finally. I moved that thing 100 times up and down, left and right. It's so tight, but I think that'll work. So I'm going with that. Just going to update the progress on the truck project. I had to put it aside for a few months. I got another project that I've been working on. I got a 79 Trans Am that I'll be restoring. So I just kind of put this together and rolled it into the house garage to store it for a few months. But I did make a lot of progress on it. A lot of mock-up is done. I started working on these panels here to enclose for the engine compartment. There's going to be another one that goes here and kind of rolls down and cover up the radiator. And then there'll be like ones that go over this, like a tunnel, and it covers the air cleaner and the struts and the master cylinder. It's going to have to be cut around the booster or the master cylinder itself. But you can kind of see how I outlined. It's going to curve and be like a cover on, and there'll be one on that side to cover the battery and the fuse box and the struts. And I'm going to remake this support. I'll probably have a piece of plate that goes down straight and comes out down here, and then these struts will go connect to that. I mean, they'll be out of the way of the tunnel won't interfere. So made a lot of progress over the winter months, but still a lot of work to do. I did remake the firewall and remounted the master cylinder, or the brake booster mounting on it, so that it mounts the pedal in the proper position. I didn't remount the gas yet, but overall I'm pretty happy. I did make a lot of progress over the winter. I've been playing with colors and things, so I'll get back on this, and there'll be a lot of body work to do.